Alright, let me get to these two items here. It's already down. We'll mute it all the way. How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a good week and a good weekend. I was gonna jump on this video last night, but I had company come over. We ended up bullshit until about midnight. I had to crash. So I had to work this morning, go finish a job. So what I was doing is Radiolink stuff. Bought this radio a year ago, and I bought it with the FPV system. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. Most of you probably are. It's got its own, optional radio or camera, and it's got a microphone on it. It's supposed to work pretty decently. And you run it, and you get this. You can view it on the remote, which is cool. And I guess you could actually use it with somewhat with the RC6GS, the somewhat older radio here. You can run it on this radio, but you would use your phone essentially as the monitor. Obviously, this doesn't have the monitor screen that would work with it. And part of the reason I bought this radio is so I could use it, but you're only getting half the screen as a monitor, and it's, as you can see, it's pretty small screen already. About smaller cell phone. You only get the bottom half of the screen, so it's kind of hard to see, and you're really looking down, and you got to hold the radio up while you're doing your stuff, and you got to hold it like this so you can see the screen, or have your head tilted down all the time to look at it. And thought that's kind of a pain, and my eyes ain't the greatest. I gotta look, and it's hard to see things from my end of my hand to my face anymore. So I made a few, was looking for a way to get a better screen. Something that's bigger and a little bit easier to use. So what I'll do is I'll hook this up, and we'll demonstrate it on the controller, so everybody can kind of see what you get. Let's bring it all out. That I bought separately. It's a little fan system I'm going to put in a case, make a small holder, and mount it into the camera. This is everything you get when you buy the camera side, assuming you buy the camera receiver package. I bought it with the radio. You can buy the camera receiver package on its own. And you get two other cords. I need the other cords. They're in here, at least to hook up to this. There. So when you buy the Radiolink FPV system, you get this small camera here, which has a transmitter built into it, thus the antenna. Camera on the front and the transmitter. So it gets fairly warm. Small little, combo unit. Small footprint, which is nice for inside the rigs. You get your receiver side. This would mount to the camera or to the radio. Most people would Velcro it. Some people Velcro it here. I was thinking about like up underneath here with the thing, using some Velcro up there like that. But like I said, I was looking at what to do, and take the red cap off and screw your antenna on. What I can do to make a better video. Hey, Gems, how you doing, Josh? What's up, buddy? Oh, birthday went good. I just sat back and chilled. Took the day off, went and did my stuff, ran around, did a bunch of stuff at house. Decided not to go do the primary. I would have crossed paths. In Michigan, you can cross paths party primary, but in Michigan on the primaries, when you vote, you can only vote for one party. It's a partisan primary. So a lot of people will go in and cross like a normal vote where you can vote for Democrat here or Republican there. If you do that in a primary, you lose it. I would have went and voted on the Democrat side, and I didn't need to. So I just took the day off and enjoyed it and did a bunch of stuff around the house. Went and had lunch with dinner with my aunt, who also has the same birthday as I do, August 4th. I was born on her 9th birthday. Hey, Kurt, what's up, buddy? So, anyways, yeah, it was good. Just sat back and chilled and took care of some stuff. All right, so Radiolink, if you haven't used it, this little cord is what you would use with your radio. And it plugs into the bottom here. There's two slots, one USB. Actually, it's not a USB-C. I don't remember exactly what it is. One of the older cell phone, not quite a C. It's flat on one side, but ovaled on the other. Let's see if I can get some better view. That's a little bit better. But it's not a USB-C. I can't remember what connector it is, but that one you don't use when you're going to the radio. You use this one. It plugs in this side over here. Goes in pretty easy. You got to push it in a little farther. But anyways, now turn on our radio. Oh, I got to plug the battery in. I forgot. Unplug it when I'm not using it. Less chances of having any issues. Plug her in here. So what you guys up to tonight? Chilling like a villain. I just got home from work. Well, I've been an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago now. Had to go finish up one of the jobs I started the other day. Got more other work to do. Not going to be an easier week this week. Kind of short, but at the end of the week, I get a job that's here local. Just down the road about 7-8 miles, which is nice. Now let's turn on our radio. Welcome to Radiolink. So the camera can run off 3.3 volt to 5 volt. Oh, right on. There's a comp going on tomorrow. I think I'm going to go to. I haven't been to too many of them, and this one's fairly local, about half hour down the road, so it ain't too bad. So the camera runs off 3.3 volts up to 5 volts. Not really. I think 5.2 is what they said, maybe 5.3, but I bought some 1C batteries. Had to, wire a JST on the end because they had its own different little plug. So anyways, when you plug that in, you plug your unit in, you got a USB-C port here. Whoop. Go back to the... buttons all over the place. Anyways, you've got a USB-C port you'll plug into. And I'm sure if you watch... Whoa. What did I do here? It just shut off on me. Must have been bumping a button. All right. What the heck? All right, try this again. So anyways, plug in your USB-C. Come on, get in there. Having problems tonight. And when you plug your audio port in, you get with your tip lead sling, it pops you up a little screen, and hard to see there. I can kind of angle it a little bit, get it out of the light. And this is a screen asking you if you wanted to use the audio output or video input. We're going to video input it. I've already got it set to stay there. Man, it just flashed right out on that, isn't it? That light on this camera doesn't help either. So you just push OK, and the screen pops up. There's nothing going because, well, the camera ain't plugged in. This is just a simple plug-in. Make sure your polarity is right. And then it should find it. Oh, I gotta take this camera lens off, and there it is. My ugly face. Kind of hard to see, but it's actually not too bad. It's pretty clear. I haven't done a cam check on, but like I say, that's kind of a small screen to be looking at when you're driving out in the rocks and stuff, trying to see what you're seeing and get a good look at stuff. Not like you're going to be crawling underneath the car, or unless you can really do the lean out thing, which is pretty cool. So I was thinking, what can I do for a better screen? Like I said earlier, with the RC60S, you can use that system on a standalone essentially, and use your phone or something as a screen. And I was looking, I got an iPad for work, which is an 11-inch iPad, nice and big iPad. I thought, well, can I use that? I've never had an Apple product, so I bought that. I was looking around and I'd seen, dongles. I bought one dongle and it wasn't going to work. I bought this dongle and had to extend it because I have a case on it. So I bought a little USB extender and put some support pieces. And I tried this. It's got an audio jack and a USB C input. Didn't work. Couldn't get it to work anyways. Well, what in the heck? You got to have a app on your, iPad to bring it up. I tried that, bring up an app. Nope, no luck. Didn't work. Couldn't get it to work. So I'm looking around. Oh, okay. You look at the YouTube videos on the FPV system. It says, oh, you need a adapter card and a video input card. And I'm looking through my stuff, and all of a sudden I realize I've got these two cables. They're the same cable. Nothing. Well, I guess they're not. One's that same kind of connector end. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it very well on this 4K camera, which should. Like I said, it's not USB-C, but I don't want to focus on anything but the camera. Let's see if we can get my beat up hand in there. A little better, but it's got a flat end and kind of rounded oval on the top and the other side. I could look it up. And then the other one, and that's what goes into this unit here. And the other, it goes into a lot of your phones, like my older phone. This one's USB-C now, but my older Motorola had this connector on it, so it's a pretty common connector. But then you got a cable with USB-C adapter on one side, and I thought, okay, well, let me see if this works. So I unplugged this unit and took her out of the unit here, undo that, and we're done with this. It's a nice screen. It turns out well, but you lose half your menu screen. Not that you really need it, but it's just hard to see, especially with my kind of bad eyes, or at least, reading glasses eyes. So I got looking at it, and I thought, well, can I use this thing? I have that program, like I said, an app to turn it on. Let me go ahead and get myself open here. And we'll close that. I can close that and reopen it. So you got an app, Orion here, which I put on in this little thing here. See if you can kind of see it. It's a monitoring app. Bring it up, and this is what you get. And no signal. So I'm trying some things. Camera's still plugged in, still throwing signal around. And I thought, okay, well, let me try this one. This one plugs into the other side, obviously. And I'm beating my self up, trying to figure it out, trying to get this thing to work. And I, like say, I looked through my bag and I realized, oh, they got these other two cords. Oh, that one's a USB-C. Oh, that one fits there. So what happens if we just plug it in? Bam. Little staticky, loses signal a little bit. Let's go ahead and go full screen. Dongly. Get a little inception. Woo, look at the many iPads I have. The thing does get a little warm. Not bad though. But that's why I got a little fan for it. So I'm not trying. I spent enough for both of us, trust me. But all things considered, end of next year, I should be close to out of debt again and again and again. But yeah, everything works out for the next year. I'm going to be looking okay next year. So, anyways, just say it really wasn't bad either, Josh. I think this system standalone, just the unit and radio is like $120. Let me see. Let me see. It wasn't ridiculously costly like some of these FPVs that are $300, $400, $500. Camera, I mean, the camera does well. I think it's only 780p. Gets a little staticky, and I've seen some people say they get a little interference in the signal here and there. Let's bring it up. Little camera system, that's the CADX. Okay, here's the rate or the unit. Okay, so there's two of them. I'm sure it comes as a combo. Yeah, right there. So there's two ways of buying it. Buy each piece unit separately. The camera on Radiolink's page on Slamazon is $40, $39.99. And the receiver system with the wire package and the antenna is $71.99. So you got $71.99 and 40, which is $111.99. And then you need some 1C batteries to power the unit. This unit will power up off your radio or your pad or whatever you're using. And then you can buy the radio unit combo for $109.98. So you get a little bit of savings buying them both at one piece. So for $110 and whatever you have for a video monitor, an iPad, small, a laptop, a Surface, I think you could get yourself any kind of monitoring app. And that's all this is, the Orion monitor app for Apple stuff. But you get one for everything else, or your iPhone, or whatever. I got a Motorola phone, and you can get some pretty decent video. Now I'm going to take a walk around and show you my dirty house. I'm going to walk outside. It's dark. We'll see if it gets any good. But I'm going to leave I'll take the unit with me just because. I don't know what you guys are seeing, actually. Let me bring that up, because I think you're only going to see that. So, yeah, let me leave this here so you guys will at least see something while I'm going around. And we'll bring it up a little bit so it's a little bit higher. Ooh, getting a little warm. That's why I bought a little fan. I got to build a box. This transmitter part does get a little bit hot because the chip. Not terrible, but it's warm. So let me see over here. Bring that one up. All right, yeah, you can kind of see there. See how the low light is. Probably not that great, though. And back in reality, and the latency really ain't that bad because it came right back up as I'm here. So pretty decent, really. I'm pleased with it. Seems to be pretty good. pretty decent little unit. So, I mean, I'm sitting here beating my head against the wall, trying to, figure out which unit I need to pick up so I could have it adapt through the computer. Yeah, 109 on Amazon, 110 after that, then your taxes. If depending on your state or how Amazon's going to collect taxes for your state for you. So for the camera and receiver, that's really not too bad. And I got a little bit better deal because I bought it with the radio as a package deal. I got the radio, of course, the case came with a 2S battery, the ELR the FPV system or EWRF. This is their little 5.8 system receiver. I guess any camera system. I bought this Run Cam. It's a nice small little camera sitting here. I did a quick little video I thought on it, but it's not wireless. You have to actually hook it to a different wireless system. I might be able to transfer here, but you got to spend another $80. I thought it was 5.8 and I'd be able to fire it up and go, but no, so I'm going to return that. But it's a 1080p. So I was hoping to do that, but that's made more for recording than doing live broadcast. But you could probably make it work, but it was significantly more expensive for this little camera. This camera was $55. It might have been 29. Camera might have been 29, but it was like 65, 75 for its receiver. And like I said, for the most part, it seemed like that was going to have to be used in a different setup in that respect, for recording your video as opposed to actually broadcasting live. I want to kind of watch what's going on, and then I can record it on YouTube through StreamYard, something like that. So instead of looking at the small ass screen that's halfway on the camera on the transmitter, I got this little unit, and I bought a little harness that will, a little waist chest harness that will open up, that I can put that into, still be looking down at the pad, or I can be sitting down and have it propped up, sitting upright and looking at it that way while I'm driving around. But that should be a good way to do it. And I think I'm going to take the setup with me tomorrow to try to test it, at least in a stationary, stick position. Take some blue tack with me and just, stick the camera on whatever I'm using it and try to get some video and see how it works. So yeah, I wanted to kind of jump on and do a quick little video and let everybody know, if you want an FPV on the surface and do the Radiolink system, it's standalone. You don't need the Radiolink radios. You just need the camera and the receiver and some kind of monitor system that you could use to set it up and pay attention to. So other than that, it makes it really easy. I can get this thing smaller. Really easy to kind of sit there and then open up and take a look and see what actually you're videoing. So that makes it pretty easy. Like I said, yeah, $109. I think it was like, ended up being like $89.95 when I bought it with the package, with the radio. So yeah, it ended up being, not even a little bit less than that with the radio. So I wasn't gonna say no to potential FPV, but I've had it for almost, probably a year now. I'm sure I got this radio last year at this time, probably in June, if not a little bit earlier, somewhere in there. So I've had it for a year, but I haven't done anything with the FPV. I thought, let's get that rolling and get that figured out and going, because that needs to be worked and working. I need to get familiar with it. So that's simple. I think I bought a 5-pack of 1S batteries. They're 1,300, 800. These are 800 mAh. A 5-pack of them for like $20 with a small charger. Might have been $15. Inexpensive, but with a nice small charger. So yeah, so that was my solution to being able to see that small ass screen. Now I don't have to look at the small ass screen. That's the one I need. That's the spare one for the other connectors. These things can go in here. And these things can go in here. Go with that. Yes, I put that little battery in there and put it in the case. I've only used it a couple times for a couple minutes. That goes in there. And just like that, ready to go. Back in here. So yeah, man, if I figured for the $100 each it cost me to buy the system when I bought it, it was worth the risk if it sucked or not. And actually, it's not too bad. So checking people's videos out, it seems to work pretty good. I just, heard people talk about heat issues. It does get warm. Imagine if it's too hot out and it gets that warm, it could cause a little heat shock or whatever. But not a bad deal. Like I say, it works pretty decently. So I'm probably going to take this with me. Like I say, we got a little woods comp here in Michigan. So our rocks are, not the real nice basalts or real nice Utah red rocks or whatever else. Our rocks are broken concrete and blocks and field stones and root bases. So it can be a little rough and a little harsh. Got some holes and gaps. Other than that, I'll pop out Old Bastard because I've been doing a little work to that. I realized when I put them together and went to put them on that I bought the wrong links. I bought 88 millimeter and I forgot that it was the links on Vanquish. When you buy the builder's links, 88 millimeter is the length of the entire link, not the open shaft part, unthreaded areas. So I got some that were too short. I'm gonna have to get some longer links and keeps popping out of there. Bad, crappy little design. All right, time to shoe glue that little bastard in. That little bastard on the old bastard build. So anyways, yeah, this is, got my other bumper. Did trim the sides. It doesn't quite match up. It's made more for the axle setups, but got it, all trimmed up on the back, mounted well. But that's why, because of the big ass winch. Wrapped up wires and things. Now I didn't realize this was the wireless winch and you need the controller, so ended up having to buy that. It's on its way, but that's cool. I like this, winch. It looks really good on this old truck. I think it looks even better. That's gonna drive me nuts to fix it. Do a few little tweaks and mods, get a little bit better. Got the tail lights on, but I don't like them. They're gonna be a problem unless I want to just stand it up. Then it works out great. I can just kind of sit there, and if it leans back, it'll hit the lights and kind of stop it. But yeah, I'm gonna move them. They're gonna take a beating there. Kind of see how they want, what they were looking like, and I thought that would work, but I knew they'd be kind of exposed. I knew I should have stuck them up underneath here, and that's where they're gonna go. But before I do that, I gotta make a new bed because of the other shock towers, the Vanquish shock towers now, because I went to the Vanquish axles, I had to put on the Vanquish shock towers or get 120 mil shock, which okay, that'll work, but I didn't want to do that. So I'm going to make a new bed so it's cut up a little bit differently, and this can go on a SSD build because it's set up for the SSD, or axial would probably work. on the SEX102 type setup. But yeah, I got the wrong size links. I've got this one undone. That the one that I kind of slapped together to make, and as you can see, this one is too short. So I got to get a set of 100 millimeters. So I got those ordered up. I believe I ordered them from Amy yesterday. I believe that's one of the things in my order last night. So they'll come and they'll get here in a couple of days. So I had a few things in my cart there. Oh, no, I guess I didn't either order them up. I thought I had them in my cart. Well, shizzed it. Oh, I already made that order. That's right. I made the order and then realized I had afterwards I had the wrong links. Oh yeah, that's right. So I got those in my cart, so I have to buy them. So I can I might throw these back in because I can throw these back in. I got a set of axles or drive shafts I could throw on here and essentially have this thing. You have to tweak the settings. I got that pretty much set up on the ESC. Have to go in and reprogram the servo and everything else and get that all set up. But I could run this thing tomorrow, so I might throw this together back, put that other link back on here. I got it right up in here anyways. Right there. Nope, that's the other short one. That's the long one. So I could toss the link back on the other side, and that's probably what I'll end up doing. Because I would like to take this thing out and give it a good, beat down now that I've got the other piece on it. And the axle, pitch isn't terrible right there. I mean, it's not the greatest. I'd like to get it a little bit more tipped up, where it should be. Because it puts a lot of caster in it, kicking it that down far. All right, let's flip this around and get these pieces in here. Do it now and be done with it, right? So yeah, I think that FPV system will work out quite well. Let's take the wheel off on that side anyways. I'm going to put this one back in here. Yeah, this link I cobbled together out of stuff that I had to make it work. And it does. It might be slightly off length of the other one, which is why I wanted to get matched links. Because the SSD Diamonds was a pan-hard setup. Should have the DeWalt out here. What I should have, I think I should have a piece of paper underneath this so I'm not scraping all the rust off on the grippy shit. These tires look really, these wheels look really well. I like the way those chocolates look on here, man. And the bronze I had were I had a set of knockoff bronze. I need this one for that. Chankwish wheels on here. They look pretty good. Oop, no, wrong one. That's shock. Pay attention, dummy. Undo the shock. It's one thing holding the ass from slopping all over the place. No, about spending money though. That camera system is small enough. I can pull out the scale with the thing, but I bet it can't weigh much more with the battery. Maybe 10, 12 grams, might be 20, but small enough that you can stick that, get her mounted on top of something inside a little 30 scale and not take up very much room inside the rig. So it would fit quite well, I think. You know what? That was the wrong one too. Dummy. Yeah, dummy. That'll teach me. I should have smoked before I started working on this thing instead of wait until after. Keep telling me, Ole, pay attention, damn it. So I got a set of 88 millimeter rod ends to use at some point. At some point. Come on. Get in there the way you're supposed to. Sometimes bitch. Put this one. Oh, yeah. And easier to do it like this. So the ass backwards way I was doing it. Sometimes ass backwards is just how I do things. Don't ask me why. All right. And there. Screw go to. Oh, no, not quite. We're in there. I suppose I could pop that ball out and put a better ball in. There it is. Yeah, threaten it. That'll work. Hey, Joker. Doing a little work on the old bastard right now. Earlier I was doing a little FPV review of the Radiolink. Now we're just watching me drop screws and shit. Now you're in the hole threading. I don't hold that in. Yeah, we can go back on now. So this isn't all that bad. It's got a little heavier caster than I'd like. So basically the drive shaft's coming off completely, it's coming off straight. At least it ain't downward angle, but it is coming out straight to the back. So it's the only part that I couldn't find in a Vanquish flavor. Probably find SSDs, but cheap Slamazon drive shafts will have to fit. Will have to work, I should say, not necessarily have to fit. They will fit, but booger. Booger. Speaking of burger, grab something to eat. I haven't ate much. Had a fillet of fish earlier, and that was about it. Piece of paper back down. So, yeah, that'll work out good. Now I gotta probably take the body off to get both of them on. At least on the tranny side. Oh, gravity is a booger. Yeah, that gravity, it'll get you some days. Yeah, it will get you some days, no doubt. Just like that. Okay. Here on this side, I do have the stuff for my red tranny now. The 3 gears came in today. So I may even try to throw that together and toss that in. But I'll probably just leave this thing in for the day and run it as a setup with a non-dig. Because I got the dig system in red to go on it. Vanquish stuff, so. Yeah. Put it on this. No. Oh, yeah, that was the right side. That was the right side. Thought I missed the screw side. Get you in there. They ain't got these things phased right either. I wonder if they can be phased right. They're close, but they're not right. I bet you they can't be. Bet you that's something they didn't even look at. The only bad thing about some of these things is they don't understand some of that. Yeah, those are 90 degrees opposite. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's pretty close. All right. That's pretty close to phased. Some of these things just do not turn that much. All right, cool. Their engineer did know something. Yo, Tubo. Loctite has a lot of Loctite in it, but it no longer threads up. It's out of thread adjustment. Probably a quarter of a tube in the damn thing. Lost some of the extra schmutz. Okay. These things. Oh no, she rolled over. See, not even phased. That one's up and that one's pretty well cocked. But one swapping, it's good. So at least they got the geometry's good. Go over. This down. Can't put her through there. Can't run it that way. Gonna be some problems. Thank you, Joker. Yes, slam that like button, even though I'm an asshole. Like Dennis Miller said, I'm an asshole and I'm proud of it. ASSHOLE. Everybody know. I guess that front shaft ain't bad. It ain't great. It's got a little angle on it, but not terrible. It does almost get into the shaft. Oh boy, it does. May end up having to flip the tranny. I can't. I'd have to get a reverse plate. That ain't gonna work. That's not going to work. Nope. And shift the tranny, drill new holes. Although there ain't really much meat there. A little bit. Tranny's got to come to the inside a little bit more to miss that junk. Okay. A little bit more redneck engineering to go. I mean, it's close, but it goes that way. It just in it and stops the articulation just a third of the way in. Of course, it'll rub itself clear. When I put the other links on, they're thinner, so that'll give it a little bit more clearance. Piss on it, run it. Worst it's going to do is rub itself into a new hole. So for now, I do have things at least temporarily set up. Let's see, let's get you back over here so you're not getting in the gear set. So be like up in here. Should be able to get you through that spot. Just so you're being held in there somewhere. That'll hold it in well. Bring you over here. So when that's over there, it'll work. For some test runs, that will work. We'll even wrap it a little bit. That'll work for now. That'll hold the power button up out away from getting tangled into anything. Mostly. Maybe. Possibly. Wrong one. Oops, missed it. Missed it. We have to do a little something to the front to help mount this. Not mount the front, but just hold it better. When I had the other bumper on, it sat back further because there was no winch. And the two side braces slipped up underneath the body area in front. So these two braces slipped up into what I cut two slots because it was sitting right on the front of that one. It was sitting farther back here. And now the front end still holds good, still in good place, but it's a lot more shaky. I guess it won't be bad, but I would like to do something to get the front end mounted a little bit more snug. I mean, these two screws, amazingly, that's all hold the thing on tight, but I'm assuming after a couple of good hard hits, they might start breaking out. I might put a couple wider washers on it to try to pinch it a little bit more, give it a little bit more support around that area. I could plan on, if I run it tomorrow. I just got drive shafts in it finally, so I do plan on running it. Getting late tonight. I haven't even ate yet. I gotta get some food, but that gets at least. So now I got drive shafts. A little bit of goes decent up and down. You can hear it rubbing a little bit. Just you can feel it stiffer over. That way you can feel it hitting. It's limiting it somewhat. But yeah, overall, I think it works out pretty good. That thing tweaked a little bit. But yeah, this thing, like I say, fun to build. Well, a little bit of tweaking here and there, but it will be just fine. Plenty of room for a camera to set up on something in there. Now I've got this little tilt pan system that I can set up and put the camera on. I'm hoping it's small enough that I could probably set it up and get it stuck in on the driver's side over there where the battery's going to sit and have it run over there. So I could actually, FPV on the inside and not have to worry about the camera getting damaged or hurting a rollover or whatever else. I do have to do some setup on it, though. I believe I put it on the Radiolink. Let's make sure to get the servos retweaked because I had to move everything. For testing, I can go ahead and use. Yeah, it's a little too small. It's a little too small. We'll put that one on it. All right, Joker, you twisted my arm. Talk me into it. Could probably slip a battery up and in there somehow without taking the body off. But body comes on and off so easy. The only thing I gotta do is come up with some way to Velcro the battery into place too. I really don't have any good mount in here, and I'm not sure any good way of doing a mount. Suppose if I probably get this set like so. Put you in here and get you out the way. If I can get you to set in there like that. And that's going to push out on the body. It's going to have to come. This one's big enough. It's going to have to set up. Let's see if I can make this thing work. Just to kind of hold it. Because I'm going to have to have something to hold it in place tomorrow. Anywho. Guess I could cut a slot in the slider. That's going to cause the... All right. Put it on the tray where I was going to have it anyways. That's what I got this tray up here for. That's what I put this tray up here for. Just a little higher than I wanted to have the weight. I'll figure something out and get her mounted lower. Just misses. Just misses. Oh, the other one. Bastard. Yo, bastard. Somebody's playing with some boom booms. Wrap this up for now. Make sure it don't get tangled into much of anything. That worked.
Welcome to Radiolink.
Welcome to Radiolink. It's on, old bastard. So, before I fire it up, let's go to my endpoints. You bastard. And steering. I'm going to bump that down a bit. I don't know that I have it in the right or even centered for that matter. I don't want it to crank over and all of a sudden flake out on me. Yeah, I kind of was doing that for a bit, and I might go back to that setup. Before I had it, the other transmission here, it was an open spur gear, so it was, I had it kind of stacked in around the rails, and I may take this thing off and just redo it that way and keep it lower. Where's my power button? All right. Rolls over for me. All right, it is fairly centered, it looks like. All right, right, left. So I did set that up. I didn't think I did. Didn't think I had it quite set up that way, but I guess I got to it the other day. Let's see. That's max 120. Max 120. Seems like I'm getting way more to the left than I am to the right. That was what I noticed before. So let me go back one. Endpoint. Look at sub trim. 15%. Let's go back to 0. Now, paper out. See if I can tweak this and get a little bit more steering. So let me see. It's getting more. That's into the link there, but that's pretty close to limited out too. So I was getting more to the right than the left, right? See, these things all got to get tweaked and tightened up. All right, so go the other way. I think I gotta go the other way with it. What's the other way? It was the other way. And that's a lot of... May end up having to adjust my... Hey, Max, how you doing? May end up having to turn and adjust, get into the servo itself and actually do a little settings inside the servo. I'm getting just a little too much or not enough turn the one direction. And I should be able to get more than what I'm getting. Crank it up. Probably set at a 120 degree or 140 degree, and I probably need to bump it up to 160 degree to get the extra turn and then limit the travel on the one. So let's see, I gotta add a little bit, get it straightened out here. Pretty close. Yeah, just a little bit more that way, and I'm maxed out on... I actually probably center that and get rid of it the other way. All right, we'll leave it there. Maxed out on endpoint. That's all I got. Just steering and throttle right now because I don't have the controller for the winch and stuff, so I don't have to worry about that. These things need to get tightened up though. At some point, I need to go through those and get them a little bit snugger so they're not traveling on me like that one was. So I think I just temporarily put these things in place. And I could adjust a little bit. Some, but all right, let's see. Got to do motor direction counterclockwise. Easily, I can just reverse this. Instant reverse. Now this does have adjustable drag brake on it. That's something else. I guess I do have that plugged in. That's on channel 3. But I'll have to go through and figure out what channel 3 is. Channel 3 is the rotary knob. Okay, I like that. Oh yeah. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Let me hold this up to the camera. So I've got the rotary knob on channel 3 for the drag brake. Now listen. Hear it? There it stopped. There it started. You can see it kind of rolls on. It's a little bit of the drag brake. Let me turn it all the way down. working all the way down. It does give a little bit, but you just turn it up at all. Yeah. Okay. So it's all the way down. Oh, I don't need the timer on. That looks a little bit better. There we go. That's that's a good way to tell the drag brake's working. Go backwards with it. So no drag brake. Start turning it up. Okay, and about halfway right there. Heavier. There, it's really kicking in now. As soon as it starts making noise, it pretty much, it asks you if you could hear the noise. You could hear it. As soon as it starts that, it stops. Stops it all. Cool. So drag brake's working. Sweet. Everything is pretty much ready to go, except for not getting enough turn to the right compared to the left. But the only thing I can say, the only thing I can do there is jump into the radio or the programmer, get it plugged in, which you can do right to the button. So I'll do that in the morning when I get to the site. Make sure I take my programmer so I can. Yeah, I'll probably have to pop the maybe off to turn around and unplug her. Sweet. I'm glad that's set up to work easily. Like I say, I got a red tranny, Vanquish 3 gear in a red dig. I bought those out of the outlet. Well, the dig wasn't in the outlet. The Hertz dig was still standard price. But the tranny case was in the outlet at half off. Ripped my finger open the other day. Hit it and it hoits because it's tender. The only thing about here where I did have it, I guess that wouldn't be too bad as long as it stays below the nut, which is, this battery's kind of large. I suppose if I can get it racked on there like this, I could zip strip that there, and that'll lower it some and keep it out of the way. Strap it tight to that carbon plate like that. Probably the best way to go right there. It's just flapping now. Finally broke off. A little centering spot on the back. All right, so that one's pretty much ready to hit the woods tomorrow. Got to make sure I keep straps with me. I forgot to bring them the last time I was out there for my other rig, so I couldn't really strap the battery in to run. So I want to make sure I got my extra straps and they are in the bag with me. All right. Yeah, she'll be good for the night because I'll be using her tomorrow. Nice thing about this thing, it don't really drain. It might a little bit, but it's so low. back down here. Put you back here. Rock on. I think for now, yeah, I'll put you back over here on the stand. At least it's usable at the moment. I'll be able to run her. Camera a bit. Oh, Patrick, that's your name, Joker. Okay, cool. I kind of thought, but it's hard to say who's talking to who in chat sometimes, and you see people using real names, and oh, okay, I know who that is now. Makes it a little bit easier, except faces are with names, and that's none of us are really showing each other faces. At least I ain't right now at the moment. I don't want to see my ugly ass anyways, but you're going to. Okay. There it is. I don't know why it didn't flip over, but my messy ass toy room. Cat's bedroom is what it is. So I'm going to take a quick one because I'm going to go get more coffee. Yes, 11 o'clock at night, and I'm getting more coffee. And I'm going to turn around and actually make another pot. So I'm probably going to be up for another hour because my sleeping schedule has been all fudged up. I'll only be getting 3 to 4 hours of sleep again a night. So I'm going to probably be up for another hour and a half, 2 hours anyways, even though I'm going to be up at 7 a.m. to pack shit up and get ready to go play comp. At least I only got a half-hour drive. That's a bonus. Nice. Where you at, Max? Or your vacations like mine, you just don't go anywhere, but you don't go anywhere and spend money. Dinner. Milk duds. Ooh, nice. I have no idea where Lake Sunapee in New Hampshire is, but I'm sure it's nice because any lake's nice. I'm in Michigan, so, you know, in Michigan, it's true. You're never more than 10 to 15 miles from a lake. I'm surrounded by about 5 lakes within the 10-mile radius. And if I go 22 miles, I'm in Lake Huron. Lake Huron's a big boy's lake. So let's see. Thinking about taking. I haven't showed this much because I haven't done much with it in 2 or 3 years. Especially since I've been doing lives. But my redneck blazer. I may take this tomorrow. I don't know what size my tires are. The comp size is 419, I think. I think these are 435s. I don't quite remember. They're high racks. Let me take a look. I know it's on here somewhere. Right there. I probably won't know. That ain't it either. There it is. All right. I need bifocal help for that shit. Hard to see in the dark. Black. Let's see. You know, they are 419s. 1.4 by 419 by 19s. So those are comp spec ready for the trail. Well, shit. May have to clean this thing up. Leave her dirty. She looks a little bit more scale realistic, dirty. I got hinges for, you know, the spring hinges, so the hood will stay up. But I haven't put them on. But it kind of stays up sometimes, but usually it falls because it's too heavy. I actually tried to hook springs to this, but it didn't work. But I don't have an engine in it yet. I got this is an SSD Trail King, which came with the engine. Oop, I'm on the wrong camera. Which came with the engine, and I've got it set. Piece there. I got it setting over on the other one on an engine hoist, but I haven't done it up and put it in yet. I gotta spend about 4 or 5 hours on it to get it finished. See if I can drag it out without knocking all the shit around. And I've got the Hobby Wing version 1 Axe 3300 motor in this damn thing. It's a huge honking motor, and I can actually get this SSD motor over top of that bastard with the actual case on it. Uh-oh, what did I have happen here? How did that get trapped in there? That's a crappy place to have it. I don't know if I should be able to get that out. Oh, I know. I slipped it in there. Let's see if I can get there. That's what I did. So I've got a few spark plug wires I got to get back into place because they're hooked up in my chain right now. There we go. So you back up here. Where do you go? There where you go. And you'll go back over there. So I was trying to design and 3D print a water pump, but I guess the new motors, you get a water pump with it, though I bought one. I didn't, but this motor will fit right on top of it. Like I say, I got to do a little work, put the spark plugs wires back. I actually made little spark plugs and glued them into place and made a wire harness and got it glued in. And see, that needs to come up. There we go. Come on, get up there. Get it in the right place. Ah, you bastard. Right. But anyways, I do have a little work to do to it. Make it work better. Put things back into place. So yeah, I got a motor to put on here. I just haven't gotten it on yet. If you're looking for an easy way to do plug wires, if you're not sure what they are, looking at them, paper clips with the colored paper clips with the kind of heat shrink over top of them. Just take them and bend them up and get them bent into place. I've taken in, like I said, added some bonder agent, but obviously it's failing on me to hold them into the cap, but they're not quite in the right spot now. So, because it's been bounced around and knocking around the desk over there for a while. So yeah, I got a little tweaking to do to get the motor ready. Spending a couple hours putting it back in there. Yeah. But yeah, fun little detail on this thing. It was a fun little job to do. See, this one goes here. Get my hanger back on. This one goes up here, but I gotta come on this side of the distributor to hold it into place. Spring should still be in there. Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess I do have to kind of hang it around the sides. Probably why the things broke off there. Because of hanging it like that right there. So it hangs right. Here, I'll put it on top. Go to my other camera and take my dust bunny off. She's about to tip forward. Go back to my other camera. So yeah, it's probably why she's about to. Wires are all broke off because the way I got it hanging there. Okay, you should be flipping over right about now. There it was. Yeah, they did a nice job. I really enjoyed the Trail King, man. I built two of these rigs, almost identical. The other one, at least spring, got about 2/3 of the way through with it, and it kind of sat for a while. Then the Rift came out, and I ended up trading it away for the Rift, and I wish I wouldn't have now, because these, like these Trail Kings are excellent little rigs. Great to build, solid. SSD makes some pretty good quality items, really. So, at least in my opinion, they do. hooked up. Put you back in your hole. You finish later. But yeah, I think I might take this with me tomorrow. Take this rig, old bastard there. And then the LCG comp rig. And those are the 3 rigs I'll take with. It was basically class 1, class 2, and class 3. Even though they're all 1.9s, class 3 you can 2.2, but these are 5.25s, 5.19. These are pretty J Concepts holds. Are they 4.75? Okay, they are 4.75. But I got some 2.2 tires I could swap on here, but I don't think I'll need 2.2s. But this little thing, this is a cool little rig. This is pretty well balanced out. And get back to the other camera. I think this one will side hill pretty damn good. There was one day I was pissing on it like this one. It balanced. I mean, had it balanced on its. Like the old bar truck. Balancing a shot shell on the nose of a dime. If you know the trick, you can get damn drunk and make some money. Yeah, don't think I'm going to get it there, but it'll set on either side. Just setting there. Won't roll over unless you really kind of push it over. It'll go, but it'll stay up on the side. So this is actually a pretty decent build. One thing I gotta do is it did pop. I found my front mount was for the body was a little too easy to pop off, so I'm gonna have to kind of redo it. Add some kind of little clip to hold it down. Got it hinged so it's easy to work, easy to access everything. Just cable ties. You put a house cable on, hold it to the house. This is a couple little screws. You mounted those to the rear post. Natural hinge. Another cable tie up front. Here. Cut off. I didn't have to take one, replace it with a less cut off, so it's a little bit more hook around. And then that one just actually clips over the front one. But you got to kind of pull it down over top. I think that's where it gets to be an issue. But no, this is kind of a cool little setup. This is a knockoff 3-gear. Cheap Chinese Tanquish 3-gear. SSD Pro axles. Now, I may put the diamonds underneath this because the diamonds will be a little bit better comp. But I had the Pros available, and the diamonds got metal tubes and everything. But it may shift the balance around. The things actually balance pretty decently. Now, this is actually running the Surpass Hobby Outrunner in the Rhino ESC. This is my cheap knockoff budget comp build because I don't comp. We ain't got any comps. Cheap knockoff chassis. I didn't realize the knockoff chassis. I thought, oh my God, I found a Chinese company making their own chassis. No, they still a version of a Japanese chassis. Looks like my one shock over here needs some work. Mounts a little bit lower than the other one. But this thing should actually do pretty good on the rocks. ran a little bit a couple weeks ago. Like I said, the body popped off a bit easy. So a different clip there that will help lock it down, or I'll have to come up with some other little mount to kind of hold it in place. But I don't think this is Corrupt Carbon Works. It might be, but it's a front motor mount to put the motor out front instead of in the back to have add that forward bias. Chinese knockoff link. So the only really high quality parts on this are the deluxe shocks, and these are deluxe shocks. The SSD Pro 44 axles, SSD drive shafts. And that's what I should do. I should take these drive shafts, put it on the Vanquish, because they are SSD and they are long enough to fit the front and the back, and take those cheap Chinese knockoff drive shafts and put them on this, because this is my cheap Chinese knockoff budget build. So maybe I'll do that sometime. But at any rate, yeah. And then, J-Concept holds the more branded. Even this body's a knockoff body. It's the axial comp body. I don't remember exactly what they call it right now, but it's an axial body. But this is a cheap Chinese knockoff version, but it's really thick. You can hear how thick that is. That's not thin Lexan, and it was like $15 shipped. I shit you not, $15. Now I bought it 2.5 to 3 years ago, but cheap. Yeah, I think those are the 3 rigs I'm going to take with me tomorrow. I don't know that I'm going to run in all three comps, because they got a class 1, class 2, class 3, and then they got 24ths and minis, and I don't have any, thankfully, so I don't have to worry about ponying up any money for those. If I can get it out over the front one, that might actually hold it a little bit better. I'd probably pop it right up. I think a better cable clip, less cut off it, for a little more bite around, is going to be the way to make this sucker hold better. Yeah, it's too far up there. I can't use that one. I got to get it in this one. It's going to be in one. It's got to be in that one. Well, if it just sits real fucky. I'm really hoping that would lock this body down real tight, but I mean it does, but when you get a good hit in the front, it pops that front end right up. Get it in there. I think I just got to get a clip that goes around farther. Well, it did hold it. It doesn't seem to hold it anymore. Might have to take my shock gloves with me just to this is my shocks, make sure they're up. Hey Al, now how you doing, buddy? How you been? It'd be kind of nice to see what's happening. Put a little bit of time and effort into some play tomorrow and see if I can destroy another rig. I ain't destroying any rigs, but love myself some milk duds. But yeah, I think that'll be good fun. I've only went out there one other time a couple weeks ago. I'll probably take the Origin too, just a trail, because I haven't Origined. I got the optic 4-wheel steer That could be a class 3. But I think I'd like to run this one because I ran the Origin last time in their woods comp. Doing good off now. Busy as hell. New work's got me hopping, but that's a good thing because they're paying me decently too. So I don't mind hopping when the money's all right. It's 1099 contract work, but the money's still pretty good. Expenses aren't too bad, so I'm not really blowing a lot of my paycheck on expenses, but a little bit of it each week. But it covers. And then some, so. Nice change of pace because things are looking bleak for a little bit earlier this year. Got my ass fired last October. Kind of expected to get unemployment, but didn't. So I started looking for work around, November, December. And I expected to find work easy, but November, December is, I could have found work, but it would have been shit work for shit pay. I wasn't willing to take any less than what I was making when I got my ass fired, maybe a little bit. But then I had to take a couple of positions and do some work that I would have not necessarily done because I needed some money. Things were getting tight. But then I ran across this job, worked it out, got it set up, got hooked in, and now I'm no extra time. I'm too damn busy. Just kind of going through some stuff and getting ready to go comp tomorrow for a little bit. I'd say I'd probably take that FPV system and see if I can turn around and do some trail runs. Haven't ran the trails out there, so I may go out there early and start running trails. Comp starts at 10, warm-ups and shit. And then they'll probably start, drivers meeting 10:30, 11. Then you show up at 8, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning over there. So I don't plan on being there until 8, 8:30. Thank you. Nice to have money coming in again. That's better than, steady, especially for 1099 work. Sometimes piecemeal is, feast or famine. And hopefully, things are looking pretty decent. I've got 7 or 8 jobs on my book. Next week, I got 4 jobs. 3 of them Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are going to be super, super stupid, simple, and easy. I'll be in and out, but I got to drive a little bit to do it. We couldn't stack them. Couldn't get them scheduled until they were all stacked on 1 or 2 days because it's all in the same area, but it's about an hour away. So I got to, drive for these 3 small little detail jobs. Although, they all pay a little bit. But the job I got Thursday and Friday, I'll probably be working Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on it. It's almost 500 square foot. So at the end of the day, if everything goes good, I should be able to knock that out in 2-3 days. It's supposed to be a 2-day job, but it'll probably take me 3. And we'll see. We'll see what it details. Yeah, so they got me hopping pretty good. It's nice, like I say, nice to have, steady work and a decent paycheck again. Been a few too many years. Job I got fired from, I was doing all right. It was decent pay. It wasn't great. Not like I'm making now. Not even close to what I'm making now, but it was decent and steady and close. 15 minutes I was punched in, and 15 minutes after punching out, I was home doing whatever it was I wanted to do. So now I'm all over half the county side. At least I around the countryside or the state side, but I got about an hour. All right, Joker, take it easy, man. We'll see you later, buddy. Appreciate it. I won't go over to run for winning because I hardly ever comp. I'm just running to throw money at them and beat the hell out of my trucks, essentially. But hey, who knows? Maybe I will get lucky. Maybe nobody else will show up and I'll win by default. I doubt that though. But have a good night, Pat. See you, buddy. Enjoy that vacation. So yeah, I guess it's what been about 2 hours. Pretty common for me. Start to do a 30-minute, 35, 40-minute video and ends up being 2 hours. Pretty standard fare. So yeah, I am gonna start winding down myself. Thanks for showing up, guys. Appreciate you hanging out, bullshitting. Makes the video a little bit funner when there's somebody to BS back and forth to, other than just myself and my flapping lips. But you guys have a good night. Have a good Sunday. Have a good week. Hope everybody's staying busy and waking up on the right side of the daisies. So I'm going to go ahead and shut her down and take off. Do a little bit of surfing myself. Catch up on a couple videos and crash out here about another hour or so. Thanks, Opta. You too. We'll catch you guys on the next one. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, man. I really do appreciate it, guys. Yeah, have a good night, and we'll see you on the next one.